is a house, though. I'll give him that.
So we have Jason Bulkowski again. We had him earlier playing Mono Green Infect. Adrian is going to cry that he chose this round to take his break, but he stole it. He didn't even ask. Is that okay with you if I take my break?
They're underway.
That's what he gets. So, Jason Bulkowski getting probed by Barrett Kroeger, who is on Blue-White Delver. We see Glistener Elf, what is that, Wild Defiance, Ichor Mirror, Green Sun Zenith. What is under the Zenith?
Mutagenic Growth, and then 2 Inkmoth Nexus.
Okay, Mutagenic Growth, yeah.
So no green sources, but still a pretty potent hand.
Yeah.
All around.
Oddly enough.
Should Jason draw a green source, Barrett could be in pretty big trouble. Kind of varies. He doesn't have a lot of defense, like none of the blessings or missteps that make this matchup much better. So it's possible Jason didn't know he was up against Delver this round. Oh,
and
nice cold
like
with the forest.
Master. Forest, Glistener Elf, resolves. Now we know there's a gut shot available for Barrett, and we know that Jason has no protection, so...
He has the Mutagenic Growth.
Oh, that's right, he does have that. I'm sorry, I was thinking about the blessing. Like
Barrett has 2 gut shots. Is that 3 now? No, okay, that was the reflection of his hand on the Cavern of Souls. Oh. I believe he may have 2, though. He's going to go ahead and burn 1.
Daring Jason to use that Mutagenic Growth.
Jason here. Like, we don't have a lot of protection, and we have 2 Nexus and a Ichor Mirror. Like, if this guy dies, we're just playing another guy. Like,
right.
Who cares?
Yeah, just hold it.
Hold steady.
Yeah, steady. Just let it.
I think we're going to play it. I can see it in his eyes. He really wants to play it. Yep. I had the read.
Yeah. I mean, he knows that Barrett knows
that it's there,
that it's there, so...
That's one of the reasons I don't like playing it, is like, Barrett is playing a gut shot here knowing that you have a growth, and Barrett, like, he didn't even play a land first to, like, represent being able to mana leak the growth, so you know that nothing good's happening here, like...
Well, 2 gut shots trade with a Mutagenic Growth and a Glistener Elf.
Your draft is waiting. Please come on over to the side of this area.
Delver Secrets, perhaps?
It's his. Yeah, I think Jason really lost on that exchange. Not only did he lose, a card that, while Mutagenic Growth is an Ichor Mirror from Jason. Mutagenic Growth seems like it's +2/+2. It's actually kind of like +4/+2 in his deck. You know what I mean? Like that's 4 power worth of
and occasionally it's just like a force at will, really. Like
it just seemed, and not only that, but Jason isn't trying to win through damage, but Barrett is. So Jason, by using the Mutagenic Growth, misstep.
Getting hot over here. Barrett a little presumptuous with his Snapcaster Mage, but nope, Ichor Mirror is sticking around.
Yes, misstep takes out the other gut shot.
If Mental Misstep was the card that we drew, or no, we know it was Forest, so Jason actually just hit the Mental Misstep this turn, so that was fortunate.
Yeah.
I was about to say, like, if we have a misstep in the previous situation, I kind of like get Mutagenic Growth to get rid of the gut shot, but I would not misstep the second gut shot. I would want to save that for a Keys play later. But like, I wouldn't mind getting 2 gut shots out of the way. So now what's our play? I think we can safely say it's going to involve an attack.
Yeah, I hope so.
I'm not sure if we're going to animate Nexus. If we were, I would think, well, I guess it's basically the same. In most situations, you would want to animate the Nexus and attack like without playing the land, but here he can rep a Blessing, and since the land is a Nexus that Barrett already knows about, there's not really a lot of value to being able to replay the same Nexus.
Right. All right, he's going to go ahead and Wild Defiance.
Jam this while we got it. Barrett's like, yep, can't do anything about that.
And Ichor Mirror gets in.
Yeah.
And it's poison time.
Man, this situation just turned really awkward for Barrett when that Snapcaster Mage shot Mental Misstepped.
Yeah.
He did not think he would have to fear Wild Defiance coming online so fast.
To be fair, it was the gut shot that was Mental Misstepped.
Yeah. The relevant
I know what you mean.
Half of the card.
You know, some people might be listening in their car and they're like, wait, what?
Situations like this are also why I don't like the growth on the turn 1 play, because once the Wild Defiance is in play, the gut shots don't have text. So like,
and you had the, he had the Wild Defiance. It's like he knows he can turn off gut shot at some
point. This attack is, it hurts a little. Get in 6. All right, I believe it is 6. Nope, 5. Sorry, the gut
yeah.
shot that got flashbacked.
Is
Makes it
no
only
longer there.
5.
So, oh, did he just draw another Wild Defiance? I think he did.
Might have, which is not really what he wants. I think he's in his Glistener Elf and something else.
All right, animate Nexus, swing, swing.
We're racing. Barrett has
2
nothing.
poison. Barrett up to 3. And a Glistener Elf.
I think it might be Greenstone Zenith Wild Defiance here.
Once again, Commander Pilot 2 coming up to the stage.
All the threats and none of the pumps.
Yeah.
And it looks like a Mana Leak flips that Delver.
That wasn't a great card for Jason to see, but it's not that bad. His pump spells are kind of effective with the Defiance already in play, so... This clock is getting good. It's coming for 7 now. That'll put Jason down to 3.
Yeah, if Jason didn't already have threats on the table, that Mana Leak would be a lot more ominous, I think. But he's got some threats. He's got a Wild Defiance that represents a pump spell.
I think I like a block here. It seems kind of gross, but when you go down to 3 against Delver, from Jason's position, like now all of his Phyrexian mana spells could kill him if his opponent has a Vapor Snag or another Gut Shot or anything, and he knows the Bear probably doesn't have those cards in his hand, but if he draws one, the game will just instantly be ended. Yeah,
it looks like he took the, he took it all.
Ugh. Let's get Nancy. Rancor. Well, I don't know if we can safely cast it here. I don't know how many options we really have. So I think we're going to go ahead and play it on the Ichor Mirror and cross our fingers.
Yeah, it looks like that's the plan here.
Actually, I might play it on the Glistener Elf. Just because maybe my opponent's one of those Mavericks with a main deck Divine Offering. That's like, that would be the most horrifying thing to happen, like, ever.
Like, oh, what?
I don't think it's like functionally different in this position. The only blocker he would have to fear is a Snapcaster Mage, and I think it's reasonably safe to say that Barrett doesn't have one of those. He'd have played it 100 years ago.
And he's going to try to kill him this turn.
Well, he's 1 shy, isn't he? No, he's 7 exactly. You're right. Yep. And Jason obviously correct to not come with the Inkmoth Nexus, because if this doesn't work, he's going to need a blocker.
Yeah.
Right. Did we miscount it?
Well, I'm 1,
6. I count
2.
7. Can we get a?
Yeah, he should have.
He should be dead.
Was it?
Did he?
Oh, it's instant or sorcery. It's not. Yeah,
that's
doesn't
our
count
bad.
Rancor.
We don't know Wild Hearts. Wow.
Yeah, I thought it was just targeted. You know.
I was very aware of that. Yep.
Yeah, so Rancor...
Well, in that case, leaving the Inkmoth Nexus looks even better since we were just dead.
Everybody in for Barrett?
Yep. And that's it.
Yeah, just a little bit shy. Now, I think if he had kept that mutagenic growth...
yeah, it definitely could have changed things. I think that playing the mutagenic growth for the threat of it would have been a lot better, and that also saves you 2 life when your opponent knows it's in your hand, but can't really get you into a situation. Basically, Barrett was able to create a situation where he knew his opponent had mutagenic growth, and he could make him play it in a way that was not going to do much. And that's the best you can hope for when your opponent has a trick like that. So it was a tight race on both sides, though. You know, the right card off the top for either player.
Yeah,
it's all over.
Yeah, I'm thinking if he held the mutagenic growth, that leaves Barrett with a gut shot.
Yeah.
But if the rest of the turns play out, roughly similar, Wild Defiance probably resolves again.
It's possible. It depends on how Jason himself winds up playing, because on turn 2 he's probably going to play the Ichor Mirror, I would say. Although there is some, I guess, I don't know. If I was doing it that way, I might play the Zenith for 1 to go ahead and get my Glistener Elf again. and hold the Ichor Mirror, since it's a slightly better attacker once it survives, and with a Wild Defiance in play, like, that guy can get pretty hard to block, especially if you can give it trample with the Ranker, as he eventually was able to do. I don't know, it's curious. I haven't played enough Poison to know, like, all the situations where Zenith is better than Ichor Mirror and Ichor Mirror is better than Zenith.
It's razor thin, I think, like this matchup and just the things, like, just because of Infect being effectively, twice as effective as as regular damage, like, everything matters, I think, that much more, because you have, like, you have to take advantage of your small windows, and, it's kind of like you need to worry about every spell, because you get something like Wild Defiance on the board, and you wish you had that stupid mutagenic growth because of how much it would be worth it, even if it was countered, just to be able to cast it and target. So I think, and the fact that he knew he had the Wild Defiance available made me feel like, just hold it back. You have other threats. You have double Nexus. Like he had double Nexus, and he did top deck his green source, so he can get another threat. And as far as Glistener Elf goes, he can get that. He had the Ichor Mirror, right? Yeah, so he had threats. It wasn't as if he needed to protect the Glistener Elf that badly at that point. Right. So I felt like that was...
He had so many threats that, like, losing that one's not that big a deal.
Yeah, but it was like I'd rather save the mutagenic growth than the Glistener Elf. So I don't even
with the Defiance around.
Right, knowing that's available, or it's going to be available soon. So looking at the board, he has an additional Zenith. He has a Malira, which we actually saw him make interesting use of in an earlier match where someone Phyrexian metamorphed Glistener Elf, and then he just played Malira. So was it Metamorph? I think it was Metamorph or Image, but I think it was Metamorph. He's got Spell Skites to further protect his guys.
Malira is actually a very funny card in the Infect deck, because the best reason to sideboard it is to get opposing Maliras.
Really.
Like, it's good in the mirror match, but, like, you're actually most worried about playing against it yourself.
Yeah,
with
exactly. It just trumps your entire deck.
You can run a bunch of them.
Yeah. So, he's got White Mamba.
I imagine he's probably going to want to get in at least one of those Verdant Corruptors to be able to answer a Pike.
Yeah.
Maybe more. Necropede's okay in this matchup, too.
Turn 1 Delver from Barrett.
It's pretty much the best case scenario for Barrett. He is the control deck in the matchup, but he wants to try and get aggressive early.
Ichor Mirror. And gut shot for Delver.
Do we have our own mental misstep? Is that what that card is?
I thought he may have a mental misstep.
I don't think he necessarily needs to cast it here, but that's a misstep. What that is. He has one in his sideboard, and that's the one. He's going to let it go. This is Barrett really deciding to be the control player. He just wants to try and run Jason out of cards, get to a situation where he's ahead. Issue here is, I don't know if I agree with that when I'm on the draw.
And a Vapor Snag for the Ichor Mirror.
Yep. Playing around the Apostle's Blessing. And another Delver.
Delver resolves, and Jason top decks another mirror. Oh no, is it the same one? Well, it may be the same one, but I thought it looked like it was off the top.
It may have been. Flipping Ponder. Well, that's a good one to see here.
Yeah, so Ponder flips Delver.
I imagine we're going to cast Ponder.
Looks like he wants to tap 2 there, so he's going Pike, it looks like.
I don't know if I...
Oh no,
he's
Spectral
flighting,
Flight, okay.
I don't know if I agree with this, especially when we're almost certainly pondering this turn anyway. Like, why wouldn't you just ponder first? You could very easily happen to find a better play, like just accidentally.
Yeah.
Like just playing a Pike instead of playing this Flight would probably be a better play.
Well, there's that Ponder you mentioned.
You're just playing Flight and Pike. Things get real rowdy. This is a pretty good Ponder.
There's a Geist of St. Traft.
Yep.
Another Ponder. What's the third card?
A spell. That makes it a pretty good ponder.
Yeah.
He's going to leave him. Probe was the third card.
Okay. And we see Blessing. He did top deck another Ichor Claw.
See, this is one of the reasons I really like pondering first, because playing this probe before we decide if we want to spectral fly it or represent or play the card that we draw off our ponder, like, would have been like very massive. I don't think it matters just because of the way the ponder laid out. Like, there aren't cards he wants to cast in that ponder.
Right.
But it would be pretty bad. And we do know also that Jason has a Viridian Corruptor and did definitely bring at least one of those in, maybe some more.
It definitely seems like you want more information before you commit to something.
One of the awkward things about Viridian Corruptor, that ability is mandatory.
Yeah, so
I don't think he'll be joining the party anytime
yeah, it's
soon.
gonna hang out in his hand for a little while. And Barrett is actually just able to kind of keep that to dismember.
Is a good one here.
Dismember for the Delver.
This is kind of a nightmare for Barrett because he has that mental misstep that he is sandbagged to try and get more value out of, and it looks like at this point it's going to start rotting in his hand. It's just not going to do anything, and it could have done a lot.
He could have only used it on that gut shot, right?
Yeah, that's the only card he's seen so far that he could have used it on, and he knows his opponent's hand has just one mutagenic growth. That's all he can mental misstep, which is like okay, but not exceptional. Like, having a Delver in play would be much better than countering that mutagenic growth in this board position. Now he has no threats. His opponent has threats, and he's fallen pretty far behind. He's going to be tapping out for Geistessaint Draft this turn unless this ponder yielded something better.
And Geistessaint Draft, as you predicted.
Yep. The interesting thing about Barrett's list is just how many spectral flights it has. So his Geist is a slightly stronger clock than most. He has 2 main and I think 1 in the sideboard, right? No, just the 2 main? Okay.
Yeah.
Steel Sabotage was the other card I saw.
All right, so Jason untaps, thinking about what to do here.
Just
in with
one.
one guy. Barrett says sure.
That's interesting. I guess, like, we haven't gotten a lot of damage on our opponent yet, so... I don't know if I like this one.
Green Sun Zenith.
For 2?
Yeah.
What are we getting for 2?
Malira?
Yeah, Blight Mamba maybe? I don't know.
It's a Blight Mamba.
Well, yeah, I'm not a big fan of holding this attack here. Like, what are we really representing, you know? Oh, did we have the life totals wrong? Oh, yeah, wow, that update. So he's actually dead on board to the Spectral Flight.
Oh,
sorry about that, guys. That was really awkward.
We're sitting there
so focused on all the pump spells that we did not notice.
I didn't know that he had I didn't notice he had another Spectral Flight in hand.
Yeah, I saw the other Spectral Flight, but I did not realize Jason was on 8. I thought he was on
higher.
I thought he was on 12.
Yeah, I was sitting there thinking about how he can do a lot of poison damage fast and not looking at his life total.
The thing is, like, if we're searching for Blight Mamba in that spot, I feel like we're losing the game if our opponent has a Vapor Snag. Like, maybe not that turn, but just in general, like, the game is going to end not in our favor.